There is no denying that the Waldorf Astoria in Washington, D.C. is an impressive landmark with its distinctive bell tower and stunning atrium. But how does the rest of the hotel stack up? Is it just as impressive, or does old furniture and stained carpet signal a hotel in desperate need of a refresh? Let's find out together, shall we? Wherever you are in the city, you may want to take the DC Metro to the Waldorf. It's conveniently located about 4 blocks from the Navy Memorial Metro stop, but if you're coming from the Reagan National Airport, you're going to want to hop on the Yellow Line and head down to the Federal Triangle Station, which basically runs into the Waldorf's back door. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm staying at the Waldorf, I'm too rich for public transportation. And I get that. Hire your private car or helicopter or teleport or whatever if you wish. But the DC Metro is actually pretty nice, and there's a station that is literally part of the airport, so it's convenient and can get you here in less than 20 minutes. It's no secret that the exterior of the Waldorf is an architectural masterpiece. Originally built in 1899 to house the U.S. Post Office headquarters and the city's post office. As a matter of fact, it's even the second tallest structure in DC, right behind the Washington Monument, of course. Alrighty, let's head inside to the main floor. The big open area where all the action is happening is referred to as the atrium, and it truly is spectacular. One fun thing about the Waldorf is that they change the theme of the atrium every few months. The staff told me they were going for a whimsical Alice in Wonderland vibe with this theme. I have not seen Alice in Wonderland because it came out before I was born and probably before even my parents were born, but between the keyhole-shaped doors you walk through, the giant tree in the middle of the atrium, and all the fun and colorful furniture, I was definitely feeling some whimsy. Or perhaps I was just thirsty. Let's head to the bar just for some scientific research to prove my theory. Yep, just thirsty. As I was plotting my next move, the people around me began to get a little restless, and I realized the US men's Olympic basketball team was on the brink of winning a gold medal. Who else is bringing you hotel and Olympic content? The Waldorf also hosts 2 other restaurants, The Bazaar by a popular DC-based chef, and Michelin-starred Sushi Nakazawa. As I would not be eating at any of these, I'll put a link to their menus in the description below if you're interested. By the way, aren't these elevators super cool? So, a couple of days before check-in, I got the magical email that I had been upgraded to a premium room, which as a lowly Hilton Honors Gold member, I was very happy to see. Or so I thought, but more on that later. Well, me having my phone out and recording would have been awkward if that woman was facing the elevator. Moving on. So, being that my room was on the 8th floor, I was given another really cool perspective of the atrium. While I thought the atrium was actually fairly modern looking, everything about the room level floors just oozed old money. From the long hallways lined with columns and the blue and gold patterned carpet, to the elegant and simple white doors with the golden door handles. It just felt like old money and important, if that makes sense. Now, as we walk through this room together, allow me to give you a bit of the history behind this building, the old post office building, and buckle in, cause there's a lot. The old post office building in Washington, D.C., which now houses the Waldorf Astoria, was constructed between 1892 and 1899. The building originally served as the headquarters for the United States Post Office Department. Despite being objectively the most beautiful government building in DC, especially in the early 1900s, the building's use as a post office was relatively short-lived. Now before we continue our recurring segment, History Time with Seth, let's go to our live hotel bed correspondent, Seth, to give us a little pillow talk. Y'all want to grab a bed review? Look at that. She's looking inviting. She's looking nice and warm. She's looking fluffy. Pretty regal up at the top. Let's see if it's sleep fit for a king. Oh, whew. Okay. This feels like a cloud. First impressions, color me impressed. I like it. It's soft. It's long enough. Plenty of feet room, and there's 4 pillows. The correct amount of pillows for 2 people. Good job. Now, while 2 pillows is the correct amount of pillows per person, there's an issue here too. There's no room between my head and the bed. I should not be this close to the bed off 1 pillow. Look how much my head sunk in. Memory foam or not, I don't think it's supposed to go that big. My head is not that heavy. There ain't that much up there. But fret not, loyal viewer. That is why I say 2 pillows is the perfect amount. There we go. Now my head and neck and shoulders perfectly supported. That's what makes a good night's sleep. Also, the chandelier and the molding on the ceiling above the bed, pretty sick. You thought I forgot to give the bed a point rating? I could never forget. But what you forgot is that doesn't happen until the morning. See you in the morning. When I was editing this video, I realized I made a grave mistake. You'll have to watch the whole video to figure out what it is, but if you can figure it out, leave a comment. And whoever gets it right will get 10 points, and more importantly, my eternal undying love. After I said, see you in the morning, I realized it was still daytime, and I couldn't possibly go back to bed yet. Back to history time with Seth. By the 1930s, the postal department had moved to a new location, and the old post office faced potential demolition. However, it was saved by a combination of public outcry and legislative action, and it was subsequently repurposed for various government and commercial uses over the decades. In the 1970s, the building underwent significant renovations to preserve its historical character and to adapt it for modern use. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1973. These renovations included restoring many of the building's original architectural details, such as its intricate stonework and grand interior spaces, while also updating its infrastructure to accommodate modern amenities. In the 1980s and 1990s, the old Post Office Pavilion, as it was then known, became a popular tourist destination, featuring shops, restaurants, and an observation deck in the clock tower that offered panoramic views of the city. Hint, we're definitely going up there. Despite being fairly popular, the building struggled to maintain financial viability, leading to a search for new uses and tenants. The most recent chapter in its history began in 2013, when the Trump Organization's bid for the building was accepted after they pledged to spend $200 million to turn the structure into a 250-room hotel and agreed to pay the U.S. General Services Administration $3 million per year in rent. This redevelopment project involved a comprehensive renovation that aimed to preserve the building's historic character while introducing elements of modern luxury. The child of this effort was known as the Trump International Hotel, which opened in 2016 but ultimately closed just 8 years later for reasons I will not get into, and then became the Waldorf Astoria that we all know and love. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here at the Waldorf Astoria, Washington, D.C. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time, so I was really excited to get into it. I've gone around the room, I've taken a look at things, and I've got to say, it ain't that good. I mean, first complaint, small complaint, but first complaint. What are we doing with all this room? Why is there this much room, this much open space? Listen, I'm a big guy. I don't need this much room to see myself in the mirror. This would have been just fine. I mean, can we put like some decorations or maybe like a little couch or something there? What if I want to have friends over? Where are they going to sit? I don't know. Big plus of the room though, this view. I'm a sucker for a good view, and this is really awesome. The bathroom is beautiful. There's no denying that. The white marble looks really good, but we have a big problem. What is going on in here? Can you see that? Can you see those spots? Like, what is this orange gunk in the bathtub? What is that? Is that like a bug leg? I don't know. I mean, question for y'all, what would you do? Would you tell housekeeping anyway and have them come clean it even though you know you're not gonna use the bathtub? Or would you just let it go? I mean, you're not gonna use it, there's almost no point in them cleaning it, and I think they'll get to it next time, but maybe the right thing to do is just to tell them. I don't know. What would you do? Let me know. Another question for the group, where do we think floors 2, 5, 6, and 8 went? I can confirm it goes to floor 8 since I am on floor 8. Maybe we'll never know. Now, if you find yourself wandering in this dungeon-looking area looking for the gym, don't fret, you're going the right way. Despite being in a seemingly forgotten part of the hotel, the gym was actually really huge. It was clean and there were plenty of high quality machines for those of you who are no doubt better human specimens than me and actually work out on vacation, not just tell yourself that you're going to work out on vacation. If you're more like me and prefer to work out your liver, and if you're not like me and have unlimited money, then the private spirits room is the place for you, in which you will find several bottles of Louis XIII retailing at a smooth $3,500. Now, one of the things I enjoyed most about the Waldorf is just the little bits and pieces of history scattered about. The main attraction being, of course, the historic bell tower. That's right, hold on to your pants, we're going up. To get up to the clock tower, you actually need to leave the hotel and head outside around the back. As I touched on earlier, the General Services Administration actually owns this building and they just lease it out to people, which is how the Waldorf ended up here. But GSA reserved the clock tower for itself and has partnered with the National Park Service to provide free tours of the clock tower that are open to the public, which is also why the Waldorf doesn't have direct access. So whether you're staying here or not, if you're in DC, I highly recommend coming to the clock tower as a fun way to kill an hour or so. As you can see, as you make your way to the elevator, you go through sort of a hallway exhibit explaining the history of the old post office building. And then you'll take that elevator right there to reach the top. It also provides nice views of the inside of the hotel as well. So the bells in the clock tower were actually given to the United States Congress by the Ditchley Foundation of Great Britain as a bicentennial gift in 1976. The bells were made at the Whitechapel Foundry in London, which is the same place where the famous Liberty Bell was made in 1752. The bells were originally meant to be installed in the US Capitol building, but due to the bells weighing between 581 to 2,900 pounds each, they caused structural issues in the Capitol, and so they were installed in the apparently very sturdy old post office building. Each observation spot has a little plaque that guides you to the landmarks that you can see. So I'll shut up and let you enjoy the views, and I'll meet you back in the room to take a look at the turn-down service. Isn't she lovely? One of the neat things about the turn-down service are these really cool stamped themed chocolates. Love that attention to detail. Alrighty, see you in the morning for some final thoughts. Good morning. Had a great night of sleep here at the Waldorf Astoria, DC. Final thoughts on the bed. I know you've been waiting all video for this. Average. I slept well. The pillows though, even though there are the perfect number of pillows, the problem is they're old and they have completely lost their fluff. I mean, it's like they are super flat. The bed itself was nice. Good balance between softness on the top and then firm below. I like that. I think that's the way that a bed should be. But yeah, anything special. And I think that's kind of the theme of this room. Everything is just okay. Some of the things feel old, like the furniture. The carpet has a few stains on it. You know, I've already talked about the issues with the bathroom, and everything in here is just okay. I mean, there's nothing that is spectacular. There's nothing that's mind-blowing. But I think that is probably by design. I mean, when you're coming here, right smack dab in downtown DC, you're not really coming to hang out and stay in the room. This isn't like a resort. This isn't like a beach club. And the atrium is fantastic. And that's probably the place that you would spend most of your time if you were to stay here. Otherwise, you're gonna get out and you're gonna go do things. I mean, there's plenty of things to do and a lot of free things to do. And so I can't really fault them too much for having the room be this way. It does need some updating. Like, there shouldn't be stains on the carpet. And maybe the furniture is old because that's how it's supposed to be. The building was built in 1899. It's 125 years old. Maybe that's part of the aesthetic, and I can understand that. But if you're coming for like a modern, new experience, this isn't it. which is a little bit confusing because the atrium is modern and new, and the bathroom even looks modern to a degree with the white marble. But the room itself, it's just okay. But again, I think that that's okay too. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you next time.